Jeff was the best banjo player we ever had. Now, all the other banjo players will react strenuously because, on the other hand, he was one of the worst banjo players we ever had. But he had the father's mustache spirit. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he did it very well, and he got the crowds really stumped up and cheering all the time. He was terrific. I don't know how he did it, but he had great heart, warmth from the stage, got everybody in the audience wrapped up. He was terrific.
Well, I first met Jeff Alswang at Lake Compounds.
Oh God!
He made me get on the roller coaster. They had a wooden roller coaster there. Just drove 4 hours, and we got right out of the car onto a roller coaster. That's Jeff Alswang. And Jeff gets out of the audience. They had a burlap curtain at the Lake Compounds, and the curtain opens, and this crowd is screaming for Jeff. And Jeff walks up to the microphone and says to the crowd, he says, "What is this, the Planet of the Apes?"
It was Lake Compounds. What was that?
It was the oldest privately owned amusement park. It had been going on since 1870 something, and it had a big business during the big band days. They had bands come up and play. They had a beautiful hall. We didn't play in it. We played in the saloon half. And John Murata booked me up there every weekend. Oh God, I don't know how long. And I got half the time I got musicians I didn't know. John just sent anyone who was available up. Oh God, I started in the New York Club in 1960. I'm one of the veterans. Then, God, I played most of the clubs. John Murata sent me all over the place.
Did you ever make it down to New Orleans?
Yes. I went down there, had a banjo stolen during Mardi Gras. Yeah, I started in New York. I played in New York, and then Joel sent me up to Boston when he fired Carl Lunsford. And I took over his lead. I had never played lead before. And I played tenor, so I only play 4 melody notes a night.
Jeff walked by your father's mustache in New York one day, carrying a banjo. I don't know why I was outside, but I was, and I saw him. And I said, "Are you carrying a banjo?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Do you know how to play it?" He said, "Yes." So I brought him inside, and I don't think he really knew how to play it, but he tried. But he caught the enthusiasm of your father's mustache. He did it. After about a year, he was terrific. Jeff was a real mensch. That's what he was. Everybody liked Jeff. When we had our concert in New York at Carnegie Hall, people asked me what part I liked the best, and I said the best part was Jeff Alswang singing "My Mother's Eyes."
This is for Pearl. One bright and shining light that taught me wrong from right, I found in my mother's eye. Those baby tears paved with gold. I found in my mother's eyes just like a wandering sparrow, one lonely soul. I walk the straight and narrow to seek my goal. God's gift sent from above, one pure, unselfish love. I found in my mother's eyes.
It just, for me, he captured all there was about your father's mustache.
I just wanted to say how grateful I am to Jeff for so many things, not the least of which are some of the tunes that he taught me to play and to love, like My Mother's Eyes and The Blues My Naughty Sweetie Gives to Me, and even the verse that he taught me to Bill Bailey. You know, those were have become a terrific part of the music that I love to play and that people love to hear me do now. But it's because of Jeff that I learned it. The other thing that Jeff taught me was the difference, the enormous difference between being a musician and being an entertainer. And that's because he was the consummate entertainer. He was part of what I consider to be the holy trinity of crazy entertainers at the Mustache, starting with Joe Terra. I think, you'd have to say Sonny Helmer, and then Jeff Olswang. Those were the three that stand up in my mind. Now, you all may have other people that you would put into that grouping, but that was my trinity. And I'm grateful to you folks for putting together these Friday afternoons, because it meant that we had a chance to talk with Jeff, more recently, and it reminded us what an amazing character he was, and what an amazing part he was of our whole experience at the Mustache. And I hope that it reminded him of how much we all always loved him, and we still do. Thanks.
And then I met Lynn, and that was, son of a bitch, 40 years ago. And I knew her for 2 weeks before I asked her to marry me.
Why'd you
2
wait so
weeks.
long?
I was 39. I was 39, and I flew to New York to see my mother, who at that time I think was 112. Yeah, perfect. And I said, Mom, I don't understand this, but I met this girl 3 weeks ago, and I think I'm going to ask her to marry me. And my mother looked at me and said, what took you so long? Quick, when you got breath, ask her.